Hello, and a very warm welcome to this yoga video with me, Carly. I am delighted to have you here today, and well done for joining me. You're doing something really good for your body and your mind today, so well done. So today's lesson is all about exploring seated poses. So all our poses today are going to be seated on the floor or the mat. Before, in our last videos, we did a warm-up, which is always really important, and we did sun salutations, so that was a standing warm-up. Today we're going to do a seated warm-up in preparation for our seated poses. So we'll do that, and then we'll do our seated poses, and then we'll have the nice relaxation at the end, the Shavasana. So let's get started. I'm going to come back to my mat. So to begin with, I'd like you just to sit in, this is called easy pose. So just sitting up nice and tall. And imagine you can really feel, so start to feel your body sitting on the floor where it makes contact with the mat or the floor beneath you, but also have a sense that you're being pulled up. So we don't want to sink into our backs and sink down into the floor. We can feel the body sinking down, but we can also feel that it's being pulled up. Imagine a string, an invisible string is pulling you up to the ceiling. So you feel tall but grounded. So this is a pose, it's called easy pose. So just sitting nice and tall, lovely. And just we'll take a couple of deep breaths as we did before. So placing your fingers interlaced onto your belly and take a nice deep breath in so that you push your fingers apart. And as you breathe out, feel your fingers interlacing as your belly gets smaller. And do that again, so big breath in. Feel the fingers coming apart, and as you breathe out, they come back together and interlace. Lovely, well done. So let's get started with our warm-up. So have your hands by your sides, and as you breathe in, I'd like you to take a huge breath and also lift your hands up, looking up to the sky. Big breath in, flip your hands around, and then breathe out as if you're pushing the air down, and then you can round your spine, look down, come all the way down. Good, let's do that again. Big breath into the side, so stretching out and then up. Flip your hands, breathing out, pushing down and rounding your spine as you come down. Last time, biggest breath yet, big breath. Looking up to the ceiling, flipping the hands and breathing out, pushing down, rounding the spine and looking down. Lovely, and then coming back to neutral. Now I'd like you to leave one of your hands by the side of you on the floor of the mat, and we're just going to bend into the elbows, stretch over. So as you breathe in, stretch all the way over so you can feel a lovely stretch down your side of your body, and as you breathe out to the other side. Now let's continue, so breathing in to one side, breathing out to the other, breathing in to one side, breathing out to the other side, and one last time on each side. Breathe in, breathe out. Good, and then coming back to the middle. So now we're going to warm up our neck. So I'd like you to take a nice roll with your neck. So rolling your head around. This is warming up our necks. Really slowly and gently one way. And then the same the other way. Slowly and gently. Lovely. Now let's warm up our shoulders. So take a breath in and shrug your shoulders. And breathe out. Release them. Breathe in and shrug. Breathe out, release. Good. And one more time, breathing in and release. Good. So we're going to do similar warm up to what we did last time, which was having our hands, and as we breathe in, we twist, breathe out, we twist the other way. We're just going to do it a few times, so off we go. Breathe in, twist, breathe out, twist, breathe in, twist, breathe out, breathe in, and breathe out. Good, and then give your arms a shake, shoulders a shake. Great. Okay, so we're going to do a twist now. So take your hand to your opposite knee, and then place your other hand behind you, and just use the hand on your knee, sort of pull you around, look right behind you. See how far you can look. How far can you look behind you? Big, big twist, And then let go and spring back to the middle. And do it the other way, so opposite hand to the opposite knee, other hand behind you, and just look as far as you can around. And then spring back to the middle. Fantastic. So now we're going to do a little sequence here to warm up our shoulders and our arms. So I'd like you to put your hands in a sort of prayer pose here with your hands. As you breathe in, you're going to interlace your fingers. So breathe in and interlace your fingers. Breathe out, push away with your hands and round your back. So there's two, your back's going back, hands going forward, really good stretch. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, hands come behind you and clasp behind you. Breathe in to tip forward. And breathe out, hands back to the prayer position. Let's do that again. Breathe in, hands interlace. Breathe out, push away around the back. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, hands behind you. Breathe in, tipping forward, lifting your hands right up. Breathe in, come on up. Hands back to prayer. Lovely, so we're all warmed up now. We've warmed up our shoulders and our upper body because we're going to be using that quite a lot today. All right, so let's begin. Let's do our first pose. So this pose is, by the looks of it, looks quite easy, but so you're going to sit nice and tall with a tall back. This is called staff pose. So the real temptation here is just to go, ooh, and slump right down. But that's not what we want to do. We want to sit up tall, so you're pulling in and up, straight back. Your feet are flexed, so they're not pointed for this one, they're flexed back. And actually, this is quite challenging when you get it right. So when you're sitting really tall, oh, it does feel quite challenging, and it's really good for us because it's strengthening our spine. So we're now going to do a forward fold. So I'd like you to breathe in, reach your hands up, and as you breathe out, start to fold forward. Try to keep your back straight as you fold. And the aim is to tickle your toes, to get to your toes. And if you can't, and you've got your hands here, that's fine, or you might want to bend your knees. Either one is fine, or if you can, have your legs straight and just holding onto your feet. And wherever you get to, just then let your head relax and be heavy. And we'll just stay here for a couple of breaths, breathing in and out, giving your legs and your back a stretch. Deep, deep breaths in and out. And then slowly and carefully creeping back up to a straight back position, to your staff position. So that was a folded, seated forward bend. Good, let's do another bit of a forward bend now. So I'd like you to have your legs wide for this. So you're going to have your legs nice and wide. Again, your feet are flexed, not pointed for this one. And all we're going to do is we're going to just start walking forward with our fingers. So just start nice and tall, and then you put your fingers on the mat or the floor, and then you start to just walk them forward. So try to keep the straight back for as long as possible. Get as far as you can, and then relax your head. And we'll just stay here for 2 breaths. Keep those feet nice and active and flexed, and then use your hands to scooch around to one of your legs and try to get hold of your foot. If you don't, that's fine, you might be up here. But wherever you get to, just fold onto your leg. Good, and then coming up and scooching over to the other side. So use your fingers to pull you over to the other side, facing the other foot, and then relax. And a couple of breaths here. And then you can use your fingers to come back to the middle. And now see if you can get a little bit further. So use your fingers to creep you forward as far as you can. And then use them to push you back up. Lovely, good. You can probably feel the stretch in your inner legs. There's quite a strong stretch there. So now we're going to do a little side stretch. So what I'd like you to do is you're going to put your elbow, you're going to come down onto your elbow by your knee. Okay, so we're going to go over to the side. So the aim here is to try and get your foot. I can't do that yet, but that's where we're aiming to. But we're not doing it like this, which is what we just did really. We're opening up the chest and we're stretching to the side. So it's a really nice stretch here for the side of your body. And then coming up gently to the middle and doing the same. So you're sort of resting your knee, you've got your hand on your foot, your knee to your elbow to your knee, nice and bent. And then arm goes up and it goes over. So again, remember, we're not twisting towards the foot, we're opening up the chest. The aim is to get over to the foot. And the more we practice, the more we might be able to get there. That's the aim of yoga. That's where we're aiming to get to. And then gently coming up to the middle. Lovely. So let's bring our feet together now. So we're going to sit for a moment like this, which is what we normally do, cross-legged. But what we're going to do this time is leave one of the feet on the floor and then just put the other one over the top. Okay, so it's almost like our knees are lined up here. So I'll do that again. I've just gone from cross-legged. I've left one for sort of one leg bent on the floor and the other one just pops over the top. Okay, so we're in this position now. One bent leg on the floor and the other leg bent over the top. So what I'd like you to do now, whichever leg is bent over the top, take the other arm. So I'm not going to tell you left or right. You decide which leg. And you decide which arm, because then we'll just do the other side. So it doesn't matter which one you do first. So take up the opposite arm to the one that's bent over, and then start to twist and put it, the knee and the elbow together. And then it helps you to pull yourself round. The other hand can be behind you. So a bit like the twist we did at the beginning. This is called Lord of the Fishes, this pose. And just look behind you. And then gently come back to the middle. And now swap it round. So take the top leg, put it underneath, and the other leg goes on top this time. So one leg is bent on the floor underneath, and then you've got the other one this time on the top. So again, take the arm that's opposite to the one that's over the top, bend it and put it by your knees. So you're just using it to lever you around, a bit like a lever, it's pulling you around. Use the other hand behind you, looking behind us, see how far you can look behind you. And just holding that for a moment, a couple of breaths. Lovely, and then gently coming back to the middle. Nice, well done. So let's get back to cross-legged. And just notice which foot you have underneath. We always have a side that we prefer. So in a moment, we're going to swap round, but now just keep to how you're comfortable. And this is called eagle arms. So we're going to do eagle now. So we take our hands out like we're a flying eagle. And now remember again which one you're going to use. So take one of your arms, put it over your shoulder, and the other one goes on top of that one. Okay, so remember which one. And just take a couple of breaths like this. And the next time you breathe in, just raise your elbows. And as you breathe out, bring them back down. Good, do that again. Breathe in, raise the elbows. Breathe out, bring them back down. And then arms go out. And then come back down. So this time we're going to swap the cross of the legs. So notice which one was underneath and now swap to feeling the uncomfortable way. So it's the opposite way now. All right, so get yourself settled in that bit more uncomfortable position because it's different to what we're used to. And let's put our arms out like wings. And this time, put the other hand first and the other one on top. So we're just swapping around. So, and give yourself a bit of a squeeze here. And now as you breathe in, elbows go up. As you breathe out, just put them down again. And let's do that one more time. Big breath in and breathe out. It's really good for our shoulders, giving them a really stretch around the back of the shoulders. Good. And arms back out like the wings of an eagle and down. Lovely. Okay, we're going to do a pose that we've done before now, which is the butterfly. So we're going to put our feet together. So you want to be holding your feet. Imagine it's a bit like a book. So when you read a book, it's like opening the pages. You're holding onto your feet here. And you're just going to wiggle your wings. So flutter your wings. Try to sit up straight. It's quite hard, but give it a go. Try not to slump too much. So sitting up as straight as you can, giving those butterfly wings a little flutter. Good. And now you can slump a little bit and bring yourself forward. Maybe pushing your elbows into your legs and just leaning forward a little bit. Good. And bring it back up as you breathe in and down as you breathe out. Pushing your legs apart with your elbows. One more time. Breathe in. Straighten your arms. Breathe out. Bend them and push them into your legs there. Good. And back up. And then one more little flutter of your wings. Nice, and bringing your knees together. Good. Hug your knees, give them a squeeze. Maybe tip back a little bit. Give them a squeeze. Nice. Okay, so we're going to do a squat now, and it's quite tricky. So you need to put your feet to the side and just come into a squat position. So you might just want to start off on your toes, and you're going to put your hands into prayer. If you can, start to tip. It's quite good to do this by kind of wiggling into it. So go one heel down, toe, heel, and then just swapping around. And eventually see if you can get right down to be on both your heels. So you're in a nice squat. Try to keep your back nice and straight. Lovely. Good. And now we're just going to put our hands down and tip forward onto our tip toes. Now this is preparation for a challenging pose, which we're going to do in later videos. So we just lean forward, tipping the weight forward, and then come back to your squat. Let's do that again. As you come forward, lean forward, put your hands down and just lean forward. And back to the squat. And one more final time. Hands forward, lean forward, and then come back to your squat. Good, well done. If you're up on your tiptoes, that's fine. Again, this is where we're aiming to be, and it can take time. So then coming back into your seated position. And then from here, let's just go into a child's pose, just to relax out our muscles. So we've worked quite hard. So coming into a child's pose on your mat, on the floor, just for a couple of breaths, relaxing here, relax your body. Taking a few deep, calming breaths. And ever so slowly, coming back up. Well done. So we're going to have our Shavasana in a moment, but before we do, I just wanted to show you something. So the reason a lot of people do yoga is to find some calm. And I just thought I'd show you this because often our minds are really busy, aren't they? And lots going on, lots of thoughts whirring around. And yoga is about coming away from that busy monkey mind and coming into the body. So we're noticing what the body's doing. We're getting a bit of a rest from all this busy thoughts. And by the end, hopefully we're a lot calmer and we can then do our Shavasana. And the Shavasana is about stillness in the body, stillness in the mind, and allowing all the good work you've done in your yoga practice to sort of be absorbed by the body and the mind. So it's really important. It's the most crucial pose of all. It allows the body to absorb all the good work you've done. So I call this feeling fizzy. And a lot of the time we can get ourselves in a fizzy state, can't we? Too much going on, busy, 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 lots of thoughts. Maybe we're too worried, too angry, too much going on. And yoga is about finding a little bit of stillness, getting away from those busy minds of ours into our bodies. And then finally we do Shavasana, which is really still in the mind and the body. And that's so good for us. And so I wanted to show you that because that's really what yoga is about. It's getting away from the busy mind into the body, and then we do Shavasana. And our minds really love to be still, and our bodies too. We spend a lot of time on the go with our minds and our bodies. So I invite you now to find your way down to your back on your mats. So find your really comfy, most comfy position that you can get into, really relaxing into the mats, just spending a little bit of time getting yourself all comfy, squishing around a bit, finding that comfy, call it the sweet spot, the sweet comfy spot. And you're going to have your hands face up. So your palms are facing the ceiling and the backs of your hands are on the floor next to you. Your feet are flopped open. So just allow everything to be heavy. No need to hold on to anything. And while you're here, just take in some deep breaths. So breathing in lights and energy and positivity and happiness. So breathe those things in. And as you breathe out, let anything go you don't want. So let your worries go, any anger, any sadness, anything that you don't want. So just let it go. Any tiredness, just breathe it away. And again, as you breathe in, imagine your body being filled with lights and happiness, positivity, and everything that you would want to feel. And a sense of calm. And then as you breathe out, breathe away anything you don't want or need. last time thinking about this. So breathing in light energy, positivity, happiness, feel it spread throughout the body. And breathe away anything you don't need, negativity or sadness or worries, just breathe them away. Even the thoughts, we don't need to think right now. And now just taking the attention to your body, lying here, nowhere to be, nothing to do, just resting and relaxing. So we're going to now work our way around the body, relaxing each part of the body. So I'd like you to bring in down at your toes, so taking your attention to your toes and your feet. And now give them a little squeeze as you breathe in. So squeezing the toes and the feet as you breathe in and holding. And as you breathe out, relax and release the feet. And now focusing on your legs. So give your leg muscles a squeeze. Even try to squeeze your knees. And as you breathe out, release the legs. Now we work up to the body, up the body to the back and the shoulders. And on your next inhale, squeeze the back and the shoulders, maybe squidge the shoulders up to your ears. Tense and release and relax. And now our attention moves down to our arms and our hands. And on your next in-breath, really squeeze the hands and the arms really tightly. And as you breathe out, just release, let go. And so from here, our attention travels up the arms, across the shoulders, up the neck, and settles on our face and head. We have many muscles in our face. They allow us to smile and frown and all sorts of expressions that we make. So I'd like you now, as you breathe in, to squeeze the muscles in your face. Really squeeze them hard. And then release them as you breathe out. And just feeling and noticing how you feel, having released all the tension from your muscles around the body. And now when you breathe in, I'd like you to tense all the muscles in your body. So off you go, breathe in and squeeze everything, hold it, notice how that feels. The tension doesn't feel so great, but now notice as you breathe out and relax. How does that feel? And just notice that for the next moment, just paying attention to how the body feels now. And noticing the mind, if you're able to find a little space in the mind so that you just may be noticing that there aren't so many thoughts there. And things just feel calm, like the ball that I shook. Things are just settling down. Imagine those balls settling down. And now your mind and body is settling. And just to finish off, we're going to take a couple more deep breaths. So breathing right into the belly. The breath is such a good way of soothing ourselves, for calming ourselves. So taking the big belly breath in and out. And another one, big belly breath in. And big belly breath out. Lovely. And now really pay attention as you wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Bring a bit of movement into the body. And now just roll over onto one side and roll up into a little ball. And so you're giving yourself a hug. So you hug your knees in a tight little ball on your side. And when you're ready, you can start to push yourself up to a seated position, cross-legged, the easy pose that we talked about at the beginning, sitting tall and strong. And just noticing how you feel. Maybe you feel different to how you did at the beginning. Just a sense of curiosity about how you feel now. Has the yoga made a difference to how you feel? So we're just noticing how we feel. Well done. So bring your hands to prayer. And thank you for joining me. You've done such good for your body and for your mind today. So well done. And I hope to see you at the next video, So take a nice deep breath in And as you breathe out, we say namaste, which is our way of thanking each other and thanking ourselves for practicing. And thank you for joining me so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.